So welcome to Shakti Flow. Let's just take a quick seat. We'll open the practice. So sit in a way that helps you have a long spine and that you feel comfortable. Adjust your shoulders to the back of your body. Turn your palms up and close your eyes. Take 3 nice full deep breaths. Bringing you into the moment, into this present moment. What is calling your attention? Noticing if your body and your mind have good energy. Maybe you feel a little sluggish this morning. Anything calling your attention in your physical body? We just start from where we are, becoming very mindful. Letting the hands come together, calling them to your heart center. If there's any intention that you might have come to your mat with this morning, hold it here. Take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, you can release the hands and softly open the eyes. All right, we're going to start on the floor today, a little different. And I want you to have a, do I even have one? I have something. A towel that you could roll up or a blanket that you could roll up. It doesn't have to be super big, but we are going to work with that this morning. So it's funny that I bring that up and then I'm like, well, do I even have anything? I have this thing I sit on. I'll use this. So I want you to take the blanket or the towel. If it's a towel, I want you to roll it up. My blanket's pretty thick. It's a wool blanket. So I'm going to roll it about not even halfway. And I'm going to put the excess where my head is. Okay. If you got a towel, it's probably thinner. You can roll it a little bit thicker. You're going to have to play with this. All right. Now I want you to bring yourself down onto your back. And I want the roll to be at your shoulder blade level, not at your bra level. So it's a little bit higher than what you'd think. So can you get your shoulder blades right on it? And then grab a hold of your head. Interlace your fingers, bring your head and your elbows forward a little bit. And we're going to play here. I want to see how much range of motion we have. So feet are on the floor, knees are bent. You can have a little arch in your back, but be mindful about where you are there. And as you inhale, I want you to let your body roll backwards and see if your elbows will open all the way out. As you exhale, bring your elbows forward and bring yourself back up. So that's the motion we're going to play with here to massage and kind of get into these tight, sticky spots that are around our thoracic spine, our rib cage, our shoulders, our upper back. And so we just move in and out this way, inhaling as you go down, opening the elbows, exhaling as you come up. Feeling this maybe ease or maybe not. If you've got tight, sticky spots in this area, it's not going to feel great. But you can work over them, kind of like a massage therapist would work in these tissues to release any of those, what they call trigger points. And as we do this over and over and over again, you're kind of flossing the tissues. I talk a lot about flossing tissues in yin, getting into those connective tissues and those deep areas where we hold a lot of tension. Let's do 2 more. And we just find different ways that we can work these things out on our own, so we don't always have to go to massage therapists and chiropractors. All right, now just stay there for a moment. Open your elbows. You can take your hands out from behind your head and make your arms into cactus arms. And see how this feels. The hands, are they down? Like my wrists are up a little bit. I want you to exhale and bring your elbows all the way together so they touch right over your face. And then inhale, open your arms all the way back up. Exhale, come together, and inhale back up. We'll do 4 or 5 more of these, just starting to get into the shoulders, the chest area, and again, the upper back. Press into your elbows when you get them together. See if you can get all the way to the floor. This last one, go back to the floor. See if your arms feel any heavier, if they're closer to the floor. My wrist is closer to the floor. Take one more deep breath there, noticing if you're overarching your lower back to get into this, soften that down so you can really get sensations. The last little bit here is you're going to keep your arms where they are on the floor, and you're just going to start to reach over your head as if you're trying to straighten your arms all the way, keeping your hands on the floor, and then bring them back down into cactus. All the way up and all the way back. So you're noticing, what are you noticing here? Are you noticing your shoulders? Are you noticing areas underneath your breasts? Around your ribs? And so when we work with bigger movement patterns like push-ups or working with weights or things of that nature, we use our arms and our shoulders a lot. This type of movement can help us really utilize those movements better. Let's do 2 more, just sliding along the floor. Last time, reaching up, go where you can go, and then coming back. Good. All right, pick up an arm, roll over to one side. That's the hardest part. Push yourself up away from the floor. Okay. So take your blanket out of the way. And we'll come to tabletop. So in tabletop, we've got much more freedom. I want you to spread your fingers apart. Use your fingertips when you're trying to grab the floor. You're going to actually use the muscles of your hand a lot better, not strain. And we're just going to do a couple cat-cows here to move through any stickiness that we might have created from that roll. All right, so tailbone high, eyes high. Feel that angle that you were in on the roll, and then push up with that cat pose and really, really stretch that area out. Last one, inhaling and exhaling, push, push, push. And then find your range here, somewhere in the middle. Turn your toes under, and I want you to hover off the floor. Take a breath, and then lower your knees down. Inhale, lift up, and then lower down. We'll do one more like that. So if you're noticing you're putting a lot of weight in your wrist, I want you to use your fingers more. Lift. Now stay in this lift. We're going to go into what I call funky dog. So you keep your knees in this position and you just push with your arms. And you're in that position you were in before on the roll, and then come back down into table and land. Take a breath. Exhale, float. Funky dog, pushing with your hands, moving your hips way back, getting your arms right next to your ears, and then come back down and land. Good, we'll do one more. Lift, push back, keeping those funky legs. It's all upper body here. And then lower back down and rest. All right, we're going to change it up a little bit. I want you to move your hands forward. So now we're going to shift back, keep your toes turned under. We're going to add what we just did in a minute. So keeping your arms nice and long, I want you to shift forward so that you're over your wrist, belly strong, bend your elbows, go to the floor, come back up. And then here's that funky dog. Push with those arms. Good. Come back down. Hands are in front of your shoulders. Go back towards your hips. Re-engage your fingers. Lift yourself up. Go right over your hands so your arms are straight, and then lower down and push up. Funky dog. Try not to straighten your legs. We're going to do one more round. Come forward. Shift over your own hands. Lower down. Push away. And reach back. Good. Inhale, come forward. Funky dog. So hover. Funky dog. And now go ahead and straighten the leg. Straighten the leg. Finding a flow with your breathing. Noticing any stickiness that you might be having. All right, and then start to make your way up to the top of your mat. Finding your forward fold, getting off of your hands. And if your hands and wrists are tired, you can always circle them, go nice and slow. I like to curl mine into a fist and do it, but you can do it either way. And then inhale, come halfway up, lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your legs, and then exhale, fold down, let go of your head. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale all the way down. This time we're going to come to standing. Inhale halfway up. Feel the strength in your legs. Use your glutes and come all the way to standing. Hands down by your side. Mountain pose. Mountain pose. So just take a moment to see what you're feeling. I asked you what you were feeling in the very beginning, if you noticed anything. So notice anything now. You might have a lot of sensation around your upper body because we just did a lot of that work. Good. All right, so I want you to have your blocks nearby for this next little bit here. We'll work the legs and get off the arms a bit. So I want you to take your blocks towards the top of your mat. You're going to just be able to hold on to them. Nothing hard. All right. And so I want you to take one foot. Let's start with the right foot forward and the left leg back. So we're in this kind of high lunge, if you want to call it that. No hands. See if you can go down to the floor. If you need the blocks to help you do that. Right? And then come back up. So that's a nice movement. You could come forward, put your hands on the blocks, like you're going to pick something up off the floor, and come back up. Let's do that way one more time. Back knee. And come back up. Now see if you can stay standing and lower the back knee and come back up. And notice how much more challenging it is to do it that way. There's balance. There's much more strength demand in the back leg. All right, so let's go back down to the way we did it the first time. Knees on the floor. And now I want you to straighten your back leg and then bend your back knee. And straighten your back leg and bend your back knee. So we're working this back leg in case you haven't figured that out yet. And bend and down. Let's do one more and bend and down. Great. Come forward and just switch your legs. Start standing. Good thing I have this wall here. So I don't want your feet so far apart that the balance is going to be really awkward. Closer together, it's more functional that way. So we're going to bend the back knee and then come down towards the blocks. And then come back up. Hands facing like cactus sort of arms. Down and up. And down and up. Now stay up if you can and bend your back knee and straighten your back knee. So we're working on how do you get down and up off the floor? Down and up. Good, now go down to the blocks with the knee down, and now straighten just the back leg, and bend the knee, and straighten it, and bend it. Good, and straighten it, and bend it. So feeling the muscles around the knee of the back leg. Last one, bend it, and straighten it. Good, stay forward, step forward, and take a longer step now with your legs. Move your blocks forward. So you want to be able to transition your weight forward and back. In fact, I'm going to move back a little so I don't run into my table. So from here, we're going to do a little dynamic action. We're going to bend the back knee, and then we're going to push off and lift. Bend the back knee, push off and lift. Nice and smooth. See how smooth you can make it. So this is more of a dynamic movement, obviously. It helps your body to understand how to react quickly. If you play pickleball, you know this theory. One more time. Hold here. Straighten the leg you're standing on. Push back the leg that you're got in the air, and see if you can come up on your fingertips and lift your chest up. So half split. Nice inhale here. Try not to twist your hip open. And then exhale, lower your foot. And take the other one back. Same drill on this side, so hands on the blocks. You're going to bend your back knee, and then you're going to push off this front leg and lift. Bend, lift. Bend, lift. And you might notice one side feels a lot easier than the other side. That's just because it's your dominant side. And up. Again, trying to make it fluid and not necessarily stopping and starting. All right, last one, hold at the top. Straighten your bottom leg, push back with your top leg, and see if you can come up a little higher. So my legs are a lot longer than my torso, so I need to be up on my fingers. Maybe you don't have to. One more breath here. And then exhale, hand, foot next to the other one. Sitting back in your chair. Take your hands out in front of you. Draw your shoulders onto your back. You can hook your thumbs. This helps your shoulders to stay more organized. And then see if you can start to bring your hands up, arms up without falling in your lower back. So you might come up a little higher. Try to keep your arms right along your ears. Sit back where you can. Abdomen's drawing in. One more breath. And then as you inhale, come all the way up and release and pause. Great. All right. Leaving the legs for a minute, going back to the arms. So we'll start with light weights today. We've already done the shoulder work, or a lot of shoulder work on the floor. So we're going to start just a basic shoulder routine here. So I want you to stand. If you've got wonky knees and you want to put something between your legs, remember this action with a block can actually help engage your legs more. But if you're feeling pretty good, don't worry about it. All right, one of my favorite moves here. So I want you to bend your elbows so that they're right in front of your hands are right in front of your elbows. You're going to turn your palms up. I want you to crisscross one hand on top, open the hand, and then see if you can go out and down. Now crisscross the other hand and open and out and in. Good. Crisscross, open, out, and in. So if we can build our shoulders and get our shoulders stronger, we can do a lot more with our upper body. Most women especially have fairly weak arms. And I know that most of us think, well, we just don't want to have flabby arms. Well, that's part of it. But if we have stronger arms, especially in our shoulders, we don't get this chronic issues that are so common for us. Rotator cuff issues, upper neck, shoulder pain, that kind of stuff. Good. And let's do 2 more. Crisscross and up and in and open and in and down. Terrific. Take your hands out in front of you. Just turn your palms down. Lower the hands, lift them back up. Turn the palms up. Lower the hands, lift them back up. Turn the palms down. So we're just working in the forearm. Not anything hard. Looking more for range of motion. All right, so from here, I want you to press the arms, palms are down. I want you to bend your knees and come into a forward fold. You're kind of in a little squat here. Shoulders squeeze to the back body. Drop your arms and reach forward so that you're out in front of you. And then drop your arms and reach back. Drop and reach forward. Drop and reach back. So these can be challenging movements with heavier weight, which is why I said try the light ones. Heavier weights are best used for bigger muscles. And back. Good. One more time. Forward and back. Now let's hold here and bend the elbows and press back. Bend the elbows and press back. Lift your toes so you're sitting in your heels more. Using your whole leg. Core body's engaged. Down and push away. Down and push away. Last 2. This is the back of the arm. All right, now from here, one more time, we're going to drop down around the back on purpose, and then come up and arch the back on purpose. Down, round, push back, and arch. Good cat and cow. On purpose. Round the back, and arch the back. Let the arms touch the floor, hands touch the floor, and then push back strong. Let's do 2 more. Good, and push back strong. Last one. Push back strong, and then come to standing. Great. Shake your legs out. Let's go to heavier weight. I want you to take your feet wider apart so that you're in not the deepest action you can be, but something comfortable. We're going to take the weights and put them together. We're going to hold them as one. And I want you to bend your knees and come to a place where you feel that you've got a pretty good stance. Knees are pointing over your little toes so you can see your big toe. Tailbone drops down, belly drops in and up, and then heart's up. So from here, we're going to stand and press the hands to your chest and then overhead. Come sitting, lower your hands, and then see, do you want to drop in? This is an option. Come to your chest, push overhead, come back in, and touch the floor if you can. Shoulders up, hands to heart, down. So it's a combo movement. We do it all the time, but we may or may not realize how complicated the movement really is. All right, the next time we go down, I want you to go to your right foot. So don't go to the middle, go over to your right foot, pick it up and put it up over your head. Come to your left foot, and then back up over your head. Right foot, up over your head, left foot. All right, we're gonna do one more little variation. Your right foot, push over to your left. Your right foot, push over to your left. One more time. Make your body work in a rotation. Your left foot, push over to your right. Your left. Your right. One more. And your right. All righty. Come back to center. Oh, goodness. That should have woken us up a little. I want you to bring your legs together or use a block, either way. I'm going to put mine together. And I want you to hold your weights, shoulders on your back. Just lift your heels and lower your heels. All right, so we're here. And if you're feeling really wobbly, like I am this morning, you could use a block and turn your palms forward. And as your heels go up, your hands go up. Your heels go down, your hands go down. Good. Up. down, try to time it so the balance happens. And up. Good. So we're working on balance. We're working on bicep work, front of the arm. And up. And down, one more. And up. And down. Much harder on a carpeted floor, I will tell you. Take your legs wide apart and point your right foot towards the end of your mat. We're going to work with heavy weight on your left arm, so you can use one. You can use a heavy weight and a light. I'm going to put both my heavies in one hand. Bend your knee so you're in a warrior stance and come down on your elbow. We did this last week, so I want you to touch the floor and roll back up. Touch the floor and roll back up. Feeling steady, stable in your legs, and then allow your upper body to rotate downward and in and outward and up. On purpose, asking for these little muscles to pay attention. One more time, and up. Good. Now set the weights off the mat. Turn your feet so they're square. And I want you to lean into the side you were just on, so your right leg. And then come up and over and lean into your left leg. Try it one more time each side, just giving yourself a little bit of a breather. And up and over. Alrighty, now coming back to sort of a stance that you're comfortable with, spin out your other leg. Find your weights. And then you want to be leaning on this other arm. Alrighty. So your weights start up by your foot. You're going to row and rock up and back down. So the forearm stays on the leg. That keeps you organized so that you're not overworking any lower part of the body. Good. Try to bring your weights up towards your waist or your hip, not up by your rib cage.
Sue, is this a different leg? Did I miss it?
Yes,
Okay.
the other leg.
Okay, the other leg.
There we go. Oh, I'm glad you asked. You didn't do two legs, 2 times on one leg. We'll do a couple extras so you catch up. Oh. Good. And up. And last one. And up. And rest. Set your weights off to the side. Come back to the middle. Toes are forward. Take a nice deep breath and come up on your fingers. Exhale, soften and release. Inhale, come up on your fingers. Nice long spine. Exhale, soften and release. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now walk to the front edge of your mat. Step yourself back so you're in a plank pose. First plank of the day. How's this feeling? Use your fingertips. Remember, engage your arms, shoulders. Thinking about strong, stable breath, strong, stable body. Good. And lower the knees to the mat. Keep your toes turned under, reach back, stretch your fingers out, and then re-grip the mat. Inhale, come forward. We did this already. Lower down once and come up. And then funky dog, reach. Push with your arms. Inhale, come forward to the plank. Lower the knees, drop the chest. Push up, funky dog. Push with the arms, that's what I'm focusing on here. One more time, plank pose. Drop the knees, push up, funky dog. And then your funky dog from here, push with the arms, really get that engagement, and then start to use your legs, stretching one leg and then another. Try not to overwork your shoulders. And then slowly bring yourself forward. We're going to go to the floor, so knees on the mat, lower all the way down, and then pause here. So Weight's out of the way. Find your way. I want you to be able to stretch your arms out over your head. You might have to work around our furniture like I do. And put your forehead down on the mat for a second and just take a moment to pause. Stretching your arms, stretching your legs. Now I want you to imagine that I've got a hold of your ankles and I'm pushing your feet down into the floor. Can you get that action in your own legs? Your kneecaps will leave the floor and come up into the body. And from here, I want you to see, can you lift your arms without lifting your feet? If the answer is yes, you're going to lift, you're going to bring your elbows into your back body, and it's going to help you to lift your chest up more. You're going to reach up, and then you're going to lower. Forehead touches. Press with your feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pause. Forehead touches. Press with your feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Down and pause. Push with your feet. Lift. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Down and pause. We'll do one more. Feet down. Lift the arms. Squeeze the elbows and stay here now. Can you reach back with your hands? As you reach back with your hands, imagine your fingertips touching your ankles. And then if your feet want to float up from here, let them. You're going to reach out more with your feet. Reach back with your hands. Flip your palms to the floor. And notice how your shoulders are up on your back. One more breath. And exhale, lower down. Let your head rest or turn your head to the side. Take a moment to breathe. We just did 2 real strong back moves back to back. So if you felt this last one, that would be why. All right, so we're going to come up on our forearms. I want you to interlace your fingers and tuck your baby finger in. So we're in a forearm movement here. You're going to keep your knees on the floor initially. And I want you to lift your belly button so much that your pelvis comes off the floor and you're in a kneeling plank. Right? And then let your pubic bone touch the floor and then come back down. Look in front of you for a little baby sphinx. Exhale, belly up. Hips up, look back at your legs this time. And then lower down, pubic bone, belly, look forward. Now this time, pull with your arms. As you exhale, lift the belly, lift the hips, look back. Keep pulling with the arms. Lower down, pubic bone, belly, and then eyes up. Now, if you felt that was strong enough, I want you to stay there. If you want another challenge, the toes turn under, and we'll add the knee lift at the end. So here we go. Pull with your arms, lift your belly, lift your hips, look down, and then see, do I want to lift my knees? Lower the knees if you did. Pubic bone, belly, eyes up. Exhale, lift the belly, lift the hips, look back, and maybe push off your legs. Lower knees, lower pubic bone, belly, and look up. We got one more. Exhale, belly up. Hips up, look back, and push off if you are. And if you're with me, I want you to straighten yourself up so that you're in a full forearm plank. Press with your hands down. Keep the belly button lifting. Keep the legs reaching back. One more breath. And then exhale, knees down, pubic bone, eyes up, release the toes. Good. And relax. All right, we're going to roll over onto our backs. So take a moment to adjust yourself. And you're going to lie down on your back with your knees bent. Lie down on your back with your knees bent. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. All righty. Knees bent. on your back. So once you're here, I want you to become clear about where you are in space. So a lot of us, my personal body shape is with my back arched. Some people's body shape is with the back flat. Can you make it so that it's a little bit more neutral, so you're not all the way down on the floor and you're not all the way arched up either? All right, so that's your first cue. Your second cue is ribs in, not poked up like that, ribs in. And then hands behind the head. Now, this is going to look familiar because we did this in the beginning. I want you to take right leg down. And I want you to remember that back position. So I don't want you to change it too much here. As you exhale, you're going to roll your elbows forward, look up at your own foot, and then bring it about, I don't know, 2 inches or 3 inches off the floor. Lower back down, release the elbows. Exhale, curl and lift. Lower back down, open the elbows. So this may not feel really hard, but we're getting into the deeper tissues of the torso, the psoas in particular, of this right leg, and then the deeper muscles of the obliques. All right, one more time. And exhale. Good. And then release to the floor and just switch your legs out. We'll do the other side. Remember about the back movement. Try not to get so big. And as you exhale, elbows up, head up, and your foot's off the floor about 3 inches. Your eyes and your feet are about the same level. Lower back down, inhale. Exhale, curl, and look. And what I'm not asking you to do is to pull on your head. I'm just asking you to lift your head. And your arms are helping cradle your head so that your neck doesn't do all this work. We're really trying to get deep in the tissue of the torso. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. Now the challenge, if you want to try it with me today, is 2 legs at the same time. Now, if that one-legged version felt like that was plenty, you want to stay there. If you want to try this one, it's exhale, lift your head, shoulders, and both feet. And then lower and rest. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale, lift your head and both feet. Lower down. Exhale. This is upside down plank. Can you see that? Lower down and rest. When we do planks facing the floor, we're more used to it and we think we're working a lot, but when we turn it upside down, it's like, wow, that's super hard. Feet are open and on the mat. Let your arms go to cactus. And we're going to go back and forth with the knees. Letting go of any stickiness that might have showed up in any of that. And it's normal for your body to be tired. It's not normal for your body to hurt. So if that went into your lower back on any level, that's probably a little too hard. One leg at a time, we can get into each individual psoas that can be hooked up into the lower back and actually cause us to have a lot of pain. Even though we're not hurting ourselves, it's because we're working that muscle. 2 legs together, obviously much harder. All right, and then come back to neutral. Let's crisscross your right ankle over your left knee and take your arms down so that they're on the mat. Roll your shoulders underneath your body. So from here, I want you to lift your left foot up, feel the little stretch in your right hip, lower your left foot, and then lift your bottom. Lower down, lift your foot, lower down, lift your bottom. So the hands really help to keep your upper body stable. So I don't want you to move your shoulders, move your arms. And you might notice that when you're pushing off on that one leg, your pelvis rocks a little bit. So see if you can keep it square. Lower down, lift,
lower down and press. Let's do one more, lower down and lift. And lower down and press. Great. Now lower down and bring your legs towards you. Go ahead and hold somewhere. And if you've got a hold of the back of your leg, can you straighten your leg, the bottom leg? So you made an upside down number 4 with your legs. The knee is open and the bottom leg is straight. Can you open your toes and stretch up through your heel? Breathe. And then let it go, exhale. Switch your sides. Roll your shoulders under you again, arms next to your body, flat, flex your top foot. And you're gonna lift your right leg or bottom leg off the floor now, bottom foot. Lower it back down, right in line with your buttocks, and then lift your pelvis. Lower your pelvis, lift your foot. And when we go in and out of this kind of movement, notice when you land, if you're landing evenly on your hips. And notice when you lift, do you lift evenly? Can you keep it a smooth action? We're flossing the tissues here of the hip sockets, along with working the glute a little bit. And down and up. And down and lift. And down, and last time here. And then when you lift towards your body, go ahead and hold your leg. And if you can, straighten your bottom leg. And so there's a little bit of tension around your arms, trying to hold this leg straight and getting a stretch, hopefully in both legs. Nice deep breath here. Shoulders are more relaxed than working. And then let it all go. Good. All right, feet together, knees together. Arms can be down again. So we're going to lift up the hips with the legs and the knees together. Open your knees and your inner feet. Close your knees and your inner feet and drop. Lift, open. And this one will feel easy because you're doing both legs at the same time. And we're doing a little bit more of this inner hip, inner groin flossing. Good. Keep the action in your shoulders and your neck and head real quiet. The only thing that's moving is your hips and your legs. So you come up and you open the knees, you close the knees and you lower. And you want to open the legs a lot. See how far out you can go. Up, open, close, hips down. Up, open, close, hips down. Good. Few more. Again, you're trying to open your legs wherever you can so that we can get into these deeper tissues of that hip socket. One more time. Open, close, and down. Alrighty. So let your knees fall all the way open. Put your bottoms of your feet to touch. So we're in a supine seated pose here. And I want you to make sure that your lower back feels happy. So if you need to, scoot your upper body up along the mat a little bit to keep more space there. Excuse me. Put your hands on your abdomen. Start to breathe into your abdomen. Feel the rise and fall of your abdomen. As you inhale and exhale. And as we're breathing into the abdomen, allow the breath to move into what we call samastiti, even, balanced breathing. So it's the same. Sama means same, samastiti. So we're trying to make the inhale and the exhale feel the same. Same length, same tone, same effort.
After your next exhale, I want you walking your feet to the floor, bring your legs up, and now just reverse what you did, knees together, feet apart. And just go where you can go with your feet, everybody's different here. And continue with the breathing, inhaling and exhaling, Samastiti. The body really enjoys movement. And it's our job to try to balance movement with rest or recovery. And so we can take a moment here with conscious breathing, sending the signal to the body and the brain that you are fine, you are safe, we're calm, we're tapping into the vagus nerve. It's really important to tone properly. People think you have to calm the vagus nerve. Basically, what you have to do is tone it. And one of the things that tones it is belly breathing. Now, the last few breaths here, as you exhale, can you draw the exhale in a little bit more? Use the belly button to help you kind of squeeze out the rest of that exhale. And then the inhale relaxes and opens. And the exhale draws in and down. And it might be a little longer now, that's fine. I want you to feel like you're drawing in from the inside of your belly, like you're hollowing out your abdomen from the inside. Let's do one more. Can you find those deep internal muscles, not just the superficial front ones, but the deep, deep, deep ones? And then let it go. Good. For your feet back underneath you, let's bring the knees to the chest. Open the knees a little bit, just do a gentle rock side to side. And then take your arms underneath your knees and wrap your hands. So you got a hold of your hands so that your feet can go to the sky and your legs are really close to you here. Little variation of happy baby. And you can rock side to side here if you like also. So want your legs close to your body on purpose. Then find a resting place. Take a breath here. You can relax your feet if you like, or you can hold them up in the air. One more nice deep breath. And then exhale, feet to the floor. Stretch yourself all the way out, arms over your head, legs down. And then exhale, bring yourself back to neutral and find Shavasana. Find your own resting place. It's nice to put something across your eyes if you happen to have an eye pillow. It's nice to put something across your body, like a blanket or a sandbag. Finding that perfect resting place that you know so well. When you stop moving, take a nice deep breath. And exhale to completely release. Take a deeper breath. And slowly, slowly starting to stretch and move and bring yourself back. As you feel ready, you can bend your knees, roll to a side, and slowly make your way up to sitting. Once you're seated, just take a moment again. Do a little scan. What shifted for you? What's present? I recently heard a woman speak on a podcast, and she is a big advocate of women's wellness and health. And she talked a lot about disconnecting a little bit from our ego and our intelligence, our IQ, if you will, and reconnect into what she calls the body intelligence. And I talk about this often. It was so great to hear somebody else, not in my community, talking about this. That the body always gives us wisdom and signals and communication. So tapping into that wisdom as we walk off the mat. Let's bring the hands together, closing the practice with gratitude, as always, for our body wisdom, our deep guiding light, and our time on the mat. May our light always shine brightly, and may we always see the light in each other. Namaste.
Thank you, Sue.
Welcome, you're welcome.